In this episode, we're talking about of all the new Hell spawns that have just appeared. This is the most popular one that they have debuted. He's known as Gunslinger Spawn, and his issue one of his solo has just dropped. Long time waiting for it, especially since he debuted. Well, maybe not that long, but if you've been anticipating it, it's pretty long. But it has finally dropped, and it didn't disappoint. It was a decent sized issue because we got multiple stories in one. Well, we start off with Gunslinger Spawn is riding around on his motorcycle, but you got to think he just kind of just started riding it. You know, he's from the old Western times, so they didn't have this back then. So he's riding it and he stops working. So he just gets to pushing it and carrying it till he finds a convenience store. Um, it's a young man that's helps run the store, and his manager's left him to watch over the store and lock up. Some of his friends pull up, they leave, he locks it up, they go kick it, drink at a party. He comes back because his dad picks him up, but he has to wait till his dad calls to let him know he's on the way, or until he's given permission to come home. Crazy, right? Um, when he returns, Gunslinger Spawn is there, and he asks him what is wrong with this thing that I'm riding. He doesn't know it's exactly technically called a motorcycle. And Taylor examines it. He's also a motorcycle fanatic, and he's like, "You just ran out of gas." And then Gunslinger Spawn upset, like, "Hey, what is this gas you're talking about?" And you gotta think back then, gas is seems like from his time in the Western times, gas is not around yet or hasn't been discovered like that. So Terry's like, "Yo, you just need gas. That's what it is. You don't know what that is. Have you not looked it up on your phone?" And he's like, "What is a phone?" So it's funny, this badass hell spawn with the crazy accuracy. Certain things are just simple stuff to us. He doesn't know what it is. Like a Google phone, gas, a motorcycle, he doesn't know. So Taylor's like, "Hey, I got some things. We'll get some gas, and I got some things that can really get it going." And Gunslinger Spawn's like, "Okay, we'll go to your house." And then Taylor's like, "Whoa, I can't go until my pops come picks me up." Now, we go to a different panel where at this old museum, it's a bunch of different angels that are meeting. Because a quick backstory, after the necroplasm bomb that Al Simmons spawn went off, they brought all these other hell spawns from across time here and awakened some. It locked the doors from heaven and hell. So people can't get to where they need to go. So everybody's stuck on Earth right now. And so these angels are meeting up, and they know of Gunslinger Spawn. And it seems, of course, he's a big problem with all the other hell spawns. And these angels are meeting together to call a truce amongst their factions to get this Gunslinger Spawn on their side or take him out in general. Now, as Gunslinger Spawn and Taylor are together at the store, he is attacked by an angel. And Taylor never seen one at a time, so he's freaking out. And Gunslinger Spawn proceeds to beat the angel and kill him. Now, what's interesting, I don't think Spawn might have Spawn Al Simmons might have went into death on this, but I can't remember. But Gunslinger Spawn explains of how to kill the angel. He has him tied up. He says, "Taylor, I'm finna show you how to take out an angel. So he explains, don't shoot at the body. It won't do anything. It'll hurt him, but it won't put him down. You gotta shoot between the forehead or throw a knife between the forehead, some type of projectile." Also, Gunslinger Spawn keeps a lot of knives on him and swords. It's not just guns. Even on his hat, he takes it off. What he loses in the battle, he has a sword in his hat. That's why he tells Taylor, "Why you think I have a hat so big?" He keeps a sword under there as well. So this man is locked down to the T with weapons. So he tells Taylor, "This is how you take out an angel," and he shoots the angel with a bullet, and he said, "You need a special bullet. I get into that later." Or throw a knife between the eyes, and then he says afterwards, the body will dissolve because God doesn't want the earth to know these angels are here doing that, and they dissolve. So afterwards, Taylor like, okay, let's go to my house. They show up, and then Gunslinger Spawn says, "So you mean to tell me your dad won't allow you to come to the house when you're off to work, where you coming from, unless he gives you permission or he comes pick you up? That's odd." So Taylor goes in the house. It's his dad there, but he's not alone. It's other angels that are there meeting with this man. And his dad in the rage says, "Taylor, this is what I told you not to do." And he just furious at Taylor. And so this is your fault and you're gonna have to pay for it. And he's gonna allow these angels to attack his son. But Gunslinger spawns right there and he begins to fight them. So not disappointed when they started it off. Re- Straight to the point. Real straight to the point. Now we get the other side stories. The next one is the lynching. So we're flashing back to this Western time now. He is his lady named Miss Sutton. She's meeting people looking for her sons. She's missing three boys. And people have been searching for them, but nobody can find them. Then we get a panel of Gunslinger Spawn. He's walking off in the riding off in this on his horse, which is what he used to compared to the motorcycle. And he sees three boys or young men, teenagers hung from a tree. Word is that the um, the Bartlett gang is responsible for this, and they are the reasons these boys are dead. So Gunslinger Spawn cuts them down, gives them a proper burial, and then goes to look for Bartlett. Showing up at Bartlett's crib. Bartlett's inside just chilling. He don't think, look, I got these men around, I got my dogs. Ain't nobody finna fool with me. I'm the head of the Bartlett gang. He's hearing the dogs bark. Now the dogs are not barking no more. And Gunslinger Spawn shows up with a gun to the back of his head. Bart is like, "Hey, you must don't know who I am, what power I have, and my men are outside." And Gunslinger Spawn's like, "Well, they're not here no more." And he says, "You're finna come with me." So he ties up Bartlett, puts him on a horse. Gunslinger Spawn's on a horse. They ride for 10 hours. They ride for 10 hours. I don't know if it was straight or not, but it's 10 hours. And Gunslinger Spawn hasn't said a word to Bartlett, and Bartlett is getting furious, like, "Why are you not talking to me? Where are you taking me?" So they finally go to the destination they need to go to. Gunslinger Spawn said, "This is why I got you here," and he pulls a rope, and these bodies come up off the ground. It's not Miss Sutton's boys; it's Bartlett's boys, three of them, and Gunslinger Spawn has killed them, and he's hanging them from the tree. He's like, "You can do what you want now, go where you want to, go back home. It don't matter to me. I just want you to show you and see what Miss Sutton is going to. That's what you're from experience, because your boys are now dead in front of you. Payback a bitch. Excuse my language." Next side story, we got weapons. Kind of, uh, this is real informative because it goes to what he talks about when he first fought the beings of the supernatural, and he almost died because he wasn't aware how you had to kill him. Now, Cog, who has been a mainstay with Spawns, the older guy with the beard that we seen with a mainstay with Spawn, and with other Spawns in the Spawn lore, he explains to Gunslinger Spawn what you need to do. You need a special bullet, but but it comes at a cost. Well, we get a scene where Gunslinger Spawn is getting his weapons together, getting his bullets together. So he's, I'm like, what about the necroplasm or whatever, this, that, and the other? Like, no. See, the thing is, he need his blood on these bullets and weapons to be able to kill the angels or whoever else to put them down. And over time, more and more start coming. They start getting bigger. They start getting badder. And he needs his blood, so now he's getting weak. He's getting weaker over time. And as stated, he is one of the more weaker hell spawns that have ever existed. But his aim makes up for it. So now he knows what he needs um, to do. Now we get an interesting thing right here in this side story. He has did something so bad he's trying to make up for it, but they haven't went in detail what it exactly is. So seeing that he needs his own blood to take out the angels, the demons, or whatever else, is something new. This is something I didn't expect with him. I should say that. Now the last one is a small gift. That's the last side story. This takes place after the Mexican American War, and different little small towns are popping up where people were trying to start a new life or come up or whatever else. We're at this bar, and it's this older guy. He's being rude. Bring me another drink, and it's a little boy that's bringing the drinks. And he's saying, "Don't spill nothing. You spill nothing, it's gonna be bad for him, pretty much." And this guy is carving he has a knife and he's carving something in the table. And a little boy named Tobias is like, "Hey, sir, you can't do that. That's not your table." So he grabs the little boy and says, "Who are you talking to like that? You need to give me another drink or whatever. And don't spill a drop." Then the little boy tries to walk off and he won't let him go. And he's explaining, the little boy's like, "How can I get you a drink if you won't let me go?" So now a knife comes out of nowhere and cuts off the guy's ear. Everybody's in shock. And so he says, "You might have want to let the little boy go." So a little jabbing here and there between them two. And Gunslinger Spawn says, "I feel like you're ready to draw your gun." And the guy kind of smiles, and even before he could do anything, Gunslinger Spawn shoots him and walks over to him. Seems like he has an idea who he is, because he walks over to him, asking where his boss is, until the guy says he's in the hills. Then he shoots him in the head. Just like that. So the bartender is like, "Well, the sheriff could have handled that." And Gunslinger's like, "Well, he wasn't here. And he was causing too much trouble for my liking." Now, he gives Tobias his knife. It's like, "Sorry you had to see that." But looking at the table, he knows it's a symbol that the guy was carving. That's let him know that his enemies will be coming soon, and it's going to be a lot of them. And he's preparing to fight them. Gunslinger issue 1 is in the books, lived up to the hype, lived up to the popularity he has been getting. My eyes will be on this arc. Hey, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see y'all next video.